This is the captain. Brace for impact.
Words you never want to hear. On January 15, 2009, the engines failed on U.S. Airways Flight 1549, and the plane ditched into the Hudson River. Remarkably, all 155 passengers and crew were saved thanks to the quick thinking of this man. The new movie Sully examines the untold story of the miracle on the Hudson, and who better to share that tale than the real-life hero himself. Please welcome Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Thank you, Nina.
Oh my gosh, you said, in a way, we were just talking, this feels like 2009 all over again, in that you are absolutely in demand and thrusted into the spotlight with this movie coming out now, of course, based on your autobiography. Yes. What did it feel like when they told you, first of all, we want to make a movie, and second of all, like, the forever awesome Tom Hanks is going to play you?
I was very glad it was in such good hands.
Yeah.
In the hands of veteran filmmaker Clint Eastwood. And of course, when I heard that Tom was cast, I thought, who better to play this role? He is our generation's everyman. And of course, Aaron Eckhart is great as Jeff Skiles, our first officer, and Laura Linney as my wife, Lori.
Did you spend much time with Tom, you know, in order for him to get a sense of who you are as a man? Because you speak, or he speaks rather, exactly in the same cadence and tone as you do. It's unbelievable.
After he was cast, he came to our home and spent about half a day there. We talked in a lot of detail about the fact that he's played real people before who were still living, like Captain Jim Lovell of Apollo 13, and what a responsibility that is. And he also talked in some detail about the script along with me, about getting it right. And I was so impressed how every member of the crew worked so hard to get this story right, both in terms of the emotions and the facts.
I was reading down to the pen that you would use, is that right? Like the details.
I spent an entire day at the studio about a year ago talking with every craft, you know, from sound design, set, costume, aerial sequences, to get all those details right. You know, do you loosen your tie when you sit in the cockpit and go to work? Do you wear your jacket or your hat? No. How do you speak in the cockpit? And even more than that, I had a chance to get in the flight simulator, Jeff Skiles, as Aaron Eckhart as Jeff Skiles and Tom Hanks as Sully, to go through cockpit procedures and to have them get a feel for how pilots talk to each other when they go to work, and the rules that we follow and protocols that we use.
And what it was like in that pivotal moment, that pivotal
Yes.
208 seconds where you had to make, you know, make or break decisions.
We actually had them replicate that portion of the flight and have them fly those roles.
One fascinating thing to me, you already mentioned Clint Eastwood, you know, again, in amazing hands with both Tom Hanks and Clint Eastwood at the helm. But the fact that you're looking at, you're instantly being able to land this plane, and it glides safely into the Hudson, and everybody leaves, thank goodness, relatively unharmed. All 155 passengers were fine. But then we are looking at you as this hero. You're thrusted into the spotlight. How did this guy do it? New York needed a happy story. And all the while behind the scenes, you were being put sort of on trial to determine whether that was the right decision to make. And I had no idea, you know, mentally, physically, you're going through all this shock. And people are saying you're a hero, what a great job you did. And then maybe the National Transportation Safety Board's thinking, did you do a great job? Should you have perhaps tried to land somewhere else? So what was that process like when you're trying to digest being thrust into the spotlight at the same time as being questioned?
All those things made this event traumatic. The flight itself and this initial aftermath, it was very shocking for all of us. We were deep in the throes of post-traumatic stress from the event itself. And then we had this weird duality of the public acclaim, and yet the investigators had a professional responsibility in this formal lessons learned process in aviation to find the facts and follow the truth wherever it might lead. And we didn't know for sure until all the evidence had been evaluated, all the recorders had been analyzed, until that final engine had been recovered and examined. How much damage did they get from the birds? You know, what the options were. Did we make every decision properly? It turned out ultimately that we did. But for many months, we were living on pins and needles waiting for the other shoe to drop.
My gosh, and I know you've screened it with your family, you've screened it on your own, and you said they definitely got it right. It's already getting Oscar buzz, which is amazing. You might be attending the Academy Awards
Who knew?
in 2017.
Who knew?
Thank you so much. And I have to definitely add this tip. Make sure you stick around for the credits when you watch the film. It actually lands safely into theaters.
There you go.
Next Friday, and smoothly, because you, of course, are in it, and your beautiful wife and the passengers who were there that day. And I really loved those moments that are shared. So make sure you stick around for the credits, and thank you so much. And you're retired now, so enjoy the time flying outside of the cockpit.
Well, I just changed professions.
You change professions.
There you go.
Exactly. Right now, over to Kev in the newsroom. He's been so excited.
Yeah, that is an absolute honor to have you here, sir. Absolutely. And that's the way this entire building is abuzz with you right now.